So this is an open question and answer round on the new aspect of the patent right and also on the portal. If you have any questions on that and even general in respect of your finding inventions here, any questions on patentability as well as the GI part, you have some ideas, new thoughts, please do raise questions, queries, suggestions, whatever. And we are here to take that and see the best way we can.
Since Professor Hingwad is there, so I thought I asked this question. So you said some unique properties associated with the particular product. Now, it's a hypothetical question. Say because of say climatic change, so that particular region, the rainfall and other things gets reduced, and the specification with which this GI was provided, that gets violated, goes out of that. So then that will be taken away, that GI will be taken away, it will be lost.
So very good question. For that, there is a the provision in the law itself. You can have the range. So if you get a curcumin contains 6.12 by the Spice Board of India, you better go with the 5.5 to 6.2 or 6.5. So by any chance there is a change in the climatic conditions, your curcumin content is reduced from 6.12 to 5.5. So still you are entitled to get the benefit and not beyond the 5 or less than the 5.
But if the range is too broad, it can overlap with some other product in some other region. So say if the range, we are having the protection based on certain unique characteristics. So if the range is too broad, so another product from another region may get overlapped with that. So then they will say that this also is a characteristics of our particular product. So they cannot be given. They will contest in that. You said that there is examination process. Group will see it. So they will say we have set this range to this range. So our product also comes in that range.
Correct.
So too broad a range or too restrictive range, those are maybe a bit.
Another interesting question, sir. We work for two turmeric. One from Samli, another is the Samli turmeric. The Asia's largest market you will find in Samli, and another we work for the Viagra turmeric. So as you said, maybe certainly that Viagra turmeric range or curcumin content come down. But what I have explained, you should not rely on one characteristics or one uniqueness. So you have to combine with the other things. So curcumin is one aspect where I said mustard yellow color and kind of things. Likewise, so even you may overlap with one characteristics or one uniqueness, you have another thing. In that case, even there is an overlap, you can say, Baba, your color is not like our color of the turmeric. Ours is a dark yellow color and yours is not like that. Yours is something different and appears third aroma. There is a special aroma. So I said, Baba, should not rely on one uniqueness, one characteristics, you support all and all other. In that case, even there is a question. But again, that range should not be broad. I said 5.5 to 1. It should be reasonable and not should be broad.
Okay, now
I have a question for Professor Hingere. So,
So suppose for Pujapalli Ikkat, we have a GI for that, and we have a defined region according to the application. But what happens to the weaver who's just outside the defined region? How does he apply to get into the list of authentic users?
I'm really happy. मुझे लगा कि पेटेंट सबको अच्छा लगता है, क्योंकि उसमें इंडिविजुअल राइट है. पेटेंट को बेनिफिट लोगों को मिलना है लाखों करोड़ों का. कम्युनिटी के राइट के बारे में कोई सोच ही नहीं रहा. But I'm happy. कि very good question. I work for the Paitani Sadi. There are two districts in Maharashtra. The Paitani Sadi is originated from the Paitan district. Weavers really have this history from the Mughal Empire. And we got the information. Then 2000s weavers migrated from the Paitan to Nasik districts. They started because of the drought-like conditions there in the Paitan, and they started again doing their business, carrying their activities and all. What we did, when we applied for a patent, we included both the districts. Nashik को भी ले लिया और Paitan को भी ले लिया, and then we filed an application. So here all the rivers are protected, and that's the issue with respect to the Kolhapuri Chappal, and that's why Kolhapuri Chappal is not yet got the GI, because someone is arguing on front like they become a generic. But weavers can't taking their skill, going up out of their place, like they are coming to Kolhapuri Chappal. You can see they are available in Delhi as well. But the artisans who are making that, whether again parameters, uniqueness, all parts fit into that category. That artisans, that weaver, that farmers is entitled to get the benefit by way of an authorized users. He has to submit a statement of case and with the NOC from the association of person who is a registered proprietor. Based on that, he is entitled. समझ में आया? Clear?
What are the benefit sharing mechanisms in your state you are following? Benefit sharing mechanisms. How individuals and because act as a loophole or benefit sharing.
See, your benefit sharing with community or benefit sharing with the
Individuals. How it reaches the individuals.
how it leads to the individuals. So it's absolutely your discretion. Basically, what I said about the Mahabaleshwar strawberry, there are only 1100 farmers. They said our price will remain this. You wanted to purchase 50 kilogram per kg is our price. And initially it may be before the GI, it may be 30-35 rupees. So commonly they decided to increase the price by 15 rupees and they were selling. That happened with the, same thing happened with the Ajra Gansa. Previously it was 35 to 40 rupees, now they are selling with the 72 rupees. Every month, last Friday, every month's last Friday, more than 200 farmers coming together and they are discussing the various aspects including the profit sharing. There is a concept in India law introduced, Farmers Producers Company under Section 8. Previously, that's a non-profit organization under Section 25. So here, which you can define and the authority can be given to the association to work and then finalize the model on that basis. Apart from that, individual, say Vaiga turmeric, I gave you an example. The GI is a big circle. Among them, you will find these small other circles. Some products may be natural or organic. So those who are going exclusively organic Vaiga turmeric and your curcumin content found 6.5 above the GI limit, you further have an individual rights to get more price by saying I have some additional value. So that is why authorized users name, number is recorded in GI registry, and for that you have to apply individually, because if you are sure that your product is much better than an GI plus benefit, in that case it's an individual.
So just to add to that, the last month beginning there was a workshop conducted by NBA, the National Biodiversity Authority, and currently NBA has been discussing access and benefit sharing mechanism, which is under the Biodiversity Act 2002. Now, one of the interesting discussions which caught our attention is They are now looking at GI and ABS because GI is a separate legislation. Biodiversity law is a separate legislation. But GI is typically based on wild resource and traditional knowledge. So, of course, the details of the meeting, the notes are not yet out. But since we interact with the West Bengal Biodiversity Board, we got to know that they also participate in that workshop. So, please look up the website of the NPA. Maybe shortly they may be, publishing some information. We also are waiting that.
So, actually, there is a question related to Rasgulla litigation. Actually, it has become a huge issue now, and Rasgulla litigation. It's a sensitive issue now, and Odisha government is claiming that Rasgulla, historical origins of Rasgulla is from 12th century, whereas West Bengal government is claiming that it has been used by KFC since 1863. But sir, the characteristics of both the Rasgulla are different. The West Bengal Bangla Rasgulla is white and spongy, whereas the Pahal Rasgulla is non-spongy and brown in color. So lesser sweet also. Sir, can the this section 10 homogeneous registration of GL, as the government is planning to now file a parallel application, Pahal Rasgulla, can the section 10 can be invoked, or one application will be abandoned by the register?
If you ask me as a student of GI, I can say both can get a GI. The first that you already mentioned that the difference, and I said Sangli turmeric and Wayanad turmeric. There is another turmeric also got a GI, Erode turmeric. There are n number of chilies from India got a geographical indication. You will have to prove yourself that how you are in historical differences and all. And again that they have the, of course you have to debate as well. When you say about the Odisha government, they are saying 12 centuries, and Jagannath Mandir they are using, and again the debate is still, but they say I think it's not the part of the Bavan Bhog. Something Bavan Bhog or something. Chappan Bhog. It's not a part of the Chappan Bhog, how you can claim on that and etc. So this is there. And again, I think to the best of my knowledge, I'm maybe wrong, only one application is submitted from West Bengal and not the other application. Instead of debating, submit application, argue on behalf of you, submit your evidences, get it done, and you have a simple comparison. This is this, this is the brown, this is the white. This may be our different historical evidences, this may be our proof of origin, doesn't matter. It's like an Italy in South India. Some people say 1000 साल पहले established हुआ. But there are a couple of trademark के लिए हम लोगों ने विट्ठल कामत के साथ इडली कामत को भी register किया हुआ है. So that, and again you apply and change करके थोड़ा सा.
But if you look into the practical aspect, if someone is asking for a Rasgulla in Maharashtra, he will not ask the Rasgulla from Bangla Rasgulla or Pahal Rasgulla.
You can sell. You can send your artisans and all. Not here in case of that. अगर आप उसको दो पैसे artisan नहीं इसमें producers के इसमें बात आएगी. You can send them and start your own restaurant based on that. The category जो आप parameter दे रहे हो उसी को लेके you can get the premium price therein. Like Indian bodies, they submit, they have applied for the patent and procedures and couple of things there in United States. They have started like that. So you are entitled. You form a group, that's an association of producers. And again, with the parameter, you can take the benefit of that, the production, the product.
Excuse me, sir, I have a question. That is, you few minutes back in your speech you said that people are migrating. Remigrating. Yes. So then there is a provision in the GI legislation that Part B registration can be done. Why we are not going for that? I think that might go with that might give more socio-economic development to the society.
We are already going. I said, I think third last slide you will find 400 applications we have submitted for authorized users, which is almost 12% in India's application. So law is there. It is up to you. You have to take a benefit or not. So it is not mandate because there is some expenses need to be incurred by your side. And fortunately, we are trying to get the government to be involved. But government said this is a quality act where we can help only up to the producers to get it done. But this is an individual act who wanted to come in from, come in for a quality tag, quality perspective. They should come forward and they should register. So we have registered 400 authorized users. India received 2,600 applications. Out of that, 400 submitted by us. And then this is a 15 years history. But I agree and I appreciate that individual registration, Part B registration should be promoted, and this is what we are also trying from our aid. Only the constraint is the financial support. If they get, and not only the financial support, they will raise. I tell you, only 90% per day is the expenses. हम लोगों का चाय का भी उतना उससे ज़्यादा पैसे जाता है. लेकिन here is a डर होता है ना, it's like a fear होता है, there may be a compromise in the quality. If I commit and that. You commit. It is your also duty. If you are asking for a premium price, if you feel that this is my right, at the same time you should commit for the quality. That is a kind of a burden you have to take while submitting your authorized Part B application. And the government is, or law is not giving any mandate on that.
No, sir. A simple question in regard to my last question, that is, why don't we go for the thing that when we are submitting the application for registration of GI, at the same time?
No. I think you have to get it registered through registered proprietor, that is association of person, then your Part B is coming into the picture. Individual cannot go for an GI registration. Individual can go for an authorized user registration. The mandate is association of person is only or can only become an applicant. Sorry.
I got your point, sir, but the thing is that...
First of all, what you understood by Part A and Part B?
Part A is only the GI registered for the product itself by a association of person or a proprietor.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct understanding. Correct.
Yes, but Part B registration is registration of the authorized users.
I think we need to widen the discussion. So maybe I have some questions being in the IPR office, which often come from the inventors. So I'll ask you questions. Then again, we can go back to the topic. So before others will have questions.
That's good. Like जब प्रोफेसर ही ये हो जाते हैं तो फिर बच्चों में.
So two things actually I have seen, which is often there in the minds of the inventors, especially related to the portal. So how exactly you review? So now I have seen there are two domain. I guess there are two ways you are evaluating it. So that one goes to the domain expert, another goes to the some legal expert. So how basically what exactly you do, and as an inventor, I mean, on behalf of them, I'm saying I have been very worried. I have submitted an abstract, and what exactly will come up? Maybe after say 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So that is number one question. Number two is often is I find that I am at the towards the end of my MS or BTech project or some MTech tenure. Then I have come up with something. Then I am going to leave, and I have to submit the report, and I have to publish something. So I am a bit in a hurry to protect the other thing. So how this drive or the activities at your head can help me out. So that is another question that often comes to us. And the third thing is, you have mentioned there is a name of the supervisor. I often have seen that IPR office here insists on having a supervisor's name in the inventors list. So just, I mean, what is the logic behind that if the supervisor has contributed insignificantly or very little? So 3 questions: how you conduct the review, Number two, second question is, if I'm in a hurry to submit my BTech project or getting a journal paper as required for my PhD or whatever degree requirement, and I need to accelerate the process of invention disclosure to patent filing, how you can help? And number three is having supervisor, and you have already one-filled the work there. So how that can help? I mean, if the supervisor name is there or not there? If you can answer these questions.
I think so. More interesting you asked, right? So, as a reviewer, if I followed correctly, as a reviewer, particularly the third question, why the supervisor name comes there. Particularly for a research scholar, typically talking about the abstract being submitted from a research laboratory. Say for example, a MPhil student or a PhD student. If we take a MPhil or PhD student, he works in the lab, and the problem has been proposed, should have been proposed by the supervisor. And supervisor, in my opinion, is the integral part of the invention. As a result, if the invention are coming out from the research work that is being done in the laboratory, where the supervisor contribution also there, definitely the supervisor name should be there. And then the other part is that the student cannot go and, in my understanding, without the supervisor's knowledge, the students may not be able to find the invention, because the chemicals or the parts that has been used in the project comes from the project of the supervisor. So definitely the supervisor name is supposed to be there. Without that, I think legally it may not be right. Am I correct?
Actually, legal side, I will explain later on. Just like we decide inventorship based on substantial contribution. So substantial contribution means the law defined like this way, that without his contribution, the invention is not completed. So there lies the question Professor Raj suggested. The contribution as law suggested definitely intellectual contribution, although it may differ, generally suggested intellectual contribution. So in this case, generally we face the problem. In few cases, the supervisor definitely involved what's not told, the idea part. So that is the intellectual contribution. Particularly that contribute the students or researcher has completed these events. So particularly in the chain of invention, we are just designing the contribution made by the each player in that invention chain. So then we generally consider him as a part of the invention. There is no problem to put him as an inventor on that paper. And also another part we decided regarding that the students part, they definitely use institute resources and creating that invention. So there also there is the issues of resource utilization and the benefits out of that. And Sir can explain that part.
I'm a lawyer, and lawyer looks everything from a lawyer's perspective. The first suggestion would be that you go for a joint inventorship agreement. Before you develop an invention, it is necessary to come out clear with a joint inventorship agreement, wherein you must state what is the contribution of each of the joint inventors and what would be the loyalty sharing ratio or revenue sharing ratio. But we have not done that in IIT Khargpur. But soon, if the way the volume of inventions are increasing, we have to also provide that what is the contribution of each of the inventors, and as per that contribution, the revenue generated from that particular patent should be distributed amongst these inventors. But normally, whenever you are doing that, it is ideally required that there should be an agreement of joint, and which is there is an excellent format available in the licensing, which you call the owner licensing. We have a format, and that is with regard to music. And we have also formats which is there in I think that is actually there is a book called Licensing, Intellectual Property Licensing, and it is by Downton Beard. So So there you can take format of joint
but fundamentally this is because we have simple inventors here. Significantly contributing to the skill of the invention is the mark of inventorship. It is not defined under the Indian law, but it's defined under the US law. Nevertheless, we do apply that into the Indian jurisdiction as well. What does that simply mean? It means that everyone should have been a participant to the invention. I may be doing 10%, he may be doing 20%, sir may be doing, let's say, 40%. But we have significantly contributed to the skill of the invention in that sense. Now, sometimes in the academic area, we've had a case, I think very nicely pointed out by Professor Saha, this has been also bothering my mind, is that there was this inventor who joined with Pfizer and has worked on something, it's a chemical engineering invention, and would be leaving the institute and claimed that she had done it on her own. Now, of course, it didn't go through the novelty test, that was a separate matter. But had it gone through the novelty test and we needed to name her as an inventor, the bigger issue that we are facing in the institute is who is going to follow on the responses that come on the invention. Typically, they are placed back to the inventor. Now the question is that, can I assign a supervisor, anyone from chemical engineering? That would be wrong. If at all, I think there should be an explicit understanding between that supervisor and the IP cell that yes, that professor or that student or researcher, whoever that could be, will carry forward the invention and take it to its logical conclusion. And I think is fundamentally, that recording of that is very important. Today we do not have disputes, but let me tell you, your scientific, the work that you do is so close to some people that there have been huge fights and it's a very sensitive matter.
My next question.
I can comment on legal side. Number one question, how you review. Number two, how you can expedite. And number three, involvement of the professor as a joint inventor. So first, how you review is already covered as by prior art search, maybe conducted by your IP cell, where you that have an inputs. Maybe what we do, once we receive an IDF, we also carry some certain practices. We carry practice number one is we judge the inventor as an examiner. The inventor is the first examiner. Second examiner is the attorney to whom basically he judge the inventor's inventions. So he is second examiner. And the third examiner is the patent office examiner. So first you have to judge if you feel like yours is a novel invention, entitled for a patent, there is a inventive steps involved and industrially applicable, then you are entitled to go for. So first review is by your side, second from the maybe IP side, maybe attorney side, or maybe the concern authority side. Second question, how to expedite that? There is a provision called as a provisional specification. You can submit your application immediately once the thought is there in your mind, idea is there in your mind with respect to the product or process. You just block that inventions, you will get a 12-month time. Within that period, you can submit your complete specification. So here is an opportunity you to not to lose your creation. The third question is already addressed, but again addressed by the other panelists. However, I just wanted to add, if your invention is with the support of the funds available or through your laboratory support and etc., then of course there is an involvement of the professors, institutes and all. So joint application. However, if you invented something out of institute, you have an idea. In that case, I think that's an individual. However, again, evidence and all support need to be carried on that front. So there is a law which is proposed and already in action called as a public funded research bill. So which need to be think and aapki jo IP cell hai, they can keep the record on that. Based on that, your third questions will be very well answered.
So just Professor Muhammad, I guess a lot of electronics related submissions are done. What are the chances? I mean, say out of 10 applications, how many are rejected? I mean, as an inventor, just I want to know how sensitive the review system here are. There is a cost involved and definitely we are looking for quality patents. So as a reviewer, how many reject? How many may
I should have collected the statistics so that I can furnish it. But I think that while looking at a patent, we should look at it in a different perspective. Or invention disclosure, looking at a different perspective. I heard a story long time back talking about that efficiency of the Chinese goods, how they can give it so actually cheap. They take the market by producing the good at the lowest price. That's one of the CTQ. So one person told that they don't have any. The story goes like this: that quality control. Or then another person told no, they have a quality control. Only thing there is no rejection. They have 3 categories. First category is for the first world, that is Europe and America. The best quality of the goods they produce, they send it there as export. The second category, they send it to the people who have money to buy, that is in the Middle East. The third category, which we tend to reject in Indian quality standard or so, that thing they do not reject, rather they export it to the places like India, Bangladesh, and all other countries. Okay, so same way, in some cases when the invention disclosures are coming, sometimes I tend to actually think that people are thinking, okay, whether this idea is good enough for a journal paper. Okay, no. Then maybe conference paper. Okay, if that is also no in your mind, then you are sending it for invention disclosure. Because some of the inventions that there is coming, I think they are not sure that whether it will pass any of these grades. Even a grade of a conference paper to get that. Of course, a invention disclosure did not actually pass the criteria required for that conference paper. But few things we should keep in mind, that why I am going to patent something. The patent means it is like some real estate. I have some land. If you have to pass through my land, then you have to pay me the ticket. So unless I can restrict you, or you find there is some utility, you will go through that way for some benefit, why the people will come to pay you the ticket? So that is the part actually is missing most of the case, that why the people will be compelled to take that, license that patent and take advantage of that. So that becomes actually the biggest bottleneck to accept one invention as a, what I would say, that, as invention and take it forward. For journal paper and conference paper, it is not required, but there should be some utility, there should be some thought that it can make money in future. Because you are going to pay money for making a publication. Yeah, for conference you have to go and spend money. For journal publication, still you can do without it. So if we can think about it and just hit that point, then I think that whatever the success rate would be.
The answer is you don't reject everything.
I try to give it for the further improvement, but most of the cases that is where I get stuck.
I have a question related to IT portal. So India does not have Trade Secrets Act. What if I as an inventor submit an abstract and there's other abstracts in the portal too, and someone by hacking or something leaks the abstract and uses it? What's the institute's liability in this case?
Actually, here we have created 2 online formats you must have seen. So So when someone is submitting an abstract, in that case he has to press an I agree button. And you must see the terms and conditions therein. It says that he himself has not imitated somebody, he is not infringing some third-party intellectual property right. And secondly, he genuinely believes that it is his own contribution. And secondly, he will not submit it to anybody else. That is what the inventor is saying. Similarly, when it is going to a reviewer cannot see the abstract unless he clicks an I agree button. And there the I agree button says that obviously the I agree button contains an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, and by that the reviewer is also bound by non-disclosure provision. Including the TGDS students, they are also doing the same thing. They are also bound by that condition. And secondly, regarding hacking and all these things, the criminal law of the country will take care of the hacker.
I think last two questions, no? I think you wanted to ask questions. Sorry, I interrupted.
It's a warning to all inventors.
Don't write your great ideas on Facebook, WhatsApp. When the board got an acha idea, I had to get into that. Don't even discuss with your closest friend because it's all about securing IP.
Sir, suppose I am finding some US patent already published. So from that patent, I am finding some new methodology better than that patent already built. So can I make an modified patent and can I feel that is better with better technology or modified?
I'll just share you one very important ratio. In this is what I experienced in my 15 years practice and basically only 3% inventions are original inventions. 97% inventions are improved inventions. I hope this line gives you an answer. That's this thing. And of course, you have the reverse engineering. You can apply for an aspirin, maybe A plus B plus C or X plus Y plus Z. Whatever it may be, maybe another catalyst or worse. So that's an option available. It's always available, and that you have to think that how it is not infringing. And then, of course, if there is a question, there is a concept might have studied by the entire your IP cell, what we call as a cross licensing. If I am crossing some area border in that university, I can ask them to license, but no one will stop you to get the patent. And you can get the license from them because it's also benefiting them. So cross licensing is a way through that you can help. Excuse me, sir.
When somebody is filing a patent through this portal, is there also some kind of financial assistance that the institute will provide? I mean, like, first of all, is patent filing expensive? Second of all, if it is expensive, is the institute taking care of it? And third of all, if it is taking care of it, will the inventor need to pay back the institute at a later point of time? Or even if he has to pay back, what is the scheme for that?
As far as I know, that filing cost is taken care of by the institute so far. And if my understanding is correct, the inventor need not pay back the cost involved in the filing.
Maybe I can answer that. So, especially during the patent drive, institute comes up with special fund by which during the drive, whatever is basically filed, institute provides all the money. Outside the drive, we try to recover it from the professor's project or CPDA and whatever allowances project the professor might have, the supervisor might have. So you want to recover the cost from there. So that is our first objective. And regarding paying back, usually we do it the other way. All the inventions that are filed is actually assigned to IIT Khargpur. So ownership lies with the IIT Khargpur, inventorship lies with the inventors. So if it is licensed, whatever is the earning, 50% of that is shared with the inventors. So it is a good amount of money. So if it is if you have a blockbuster patent, and as has been mentioned in the first the guest lecture, that each patent can come up with one industry, one good successful business. So that particular patent, whatever they are earning, 50% will be returned to the inventors. So that way, basically, it is all good things, good stories for the inventors, and make use of the patent drive and fulfilling the target of 100 disclosures in 100 days. That is the target of every patent drive. So, like other patent drive, this patent drive also has this target. I hope that answers the question. Okay.
That can also be taken care of, because that will last till the patent life.
Sorry?
There is a concept of patent insurance and LIC is running that.
Maybe I leave it to my successor to think about it. So that means paying additional money. Okay, so right now we are trying to, whatever patents that has been filed, so ITG is trying, everybody else, the inventors themselves are also trying, because they are the greatest beneficiary out of it, to commercialize, to make some money out of it. Then we can consider that we are having some good patents, so it is important to insure it. So unless we have something good to start with, why insure? I mean, that question might come. So that definitely we can look into. It's a good proposal. But once we start commercialization in a great scale, we shall protect at least those patents which are making money.
Sir, I have one more suggestion. Might be helpful to the entire IIT Khargpur. This is a very important suggestion, and I hope all are aware with the recent initiative by Government of India on Startup India, SIPP, where, sir, you get the support. Whatever you pay, and of course the rest will be paid by the Government of India. Only thing, startup recognition is required by the DIPP. That's a different task. I hope you have an incubation center. Yeah. With the help of your incubation center, that can be converted. And whatever help you need from our side, we'll be happy to support in that sense. Because we are among the 25 first registered startup. So I was my video was published. The first 30 videos published by the Prime Minister. So where I feel I have a little knowledge, some information, some this, some that, which can be utilized for the inventors from the IIT. This is an offer from my side.
So I have a question. As you said, GI is all the products do not have the potential to get registration under GI Act. But still they are important. They don't qualify the uniqueness portion. They don't qualify. They just have one fact, unique fact, something of that. So don't you think we need some other legislation to protect that sort of product legislation or something like apart from GI? Because GI cannot be given to those products or anything which has a single uniqueness for that one. So some other legislation or any other sort of protection which can be given to them.
Plant Varieties and Breeders' Rights Act for your agriculture, if one thinks is that. But I tell you one thing, don't rely that the statement is not a legal support statement, that if you have only one uniqueness. I mentioned in my presentation also, PIC, Patent Information Center from West Bengal, they have registered initially 3 GIs. 111, 112 and 113 only and only on one uniqueness. So it is not the case if you have one uniqueness, you won't get GI. I say better to have more than one or two, which may lead to support your unique selling point to get the more premium price. And 110% assurity to get into the international market. Of course, is another legislation. This may be a suggestion, but it's not like a GI saying you have only one uniqueness, you are not entitled to it. It is not like that. Even one uniqueness, you can. This is an example. मुझे शुरू करेगा कि ये कम्युनिटी राइट है, कम्युनिटी राइट के लिए इंटरेस्टेड रहेंगे क्या नहीं रहेंगे, थोड़ा सा मैंने स्पीड भी बढ़ाया बाद में कि चलो नेक्स्ट 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 नेक्स्ट। और बट अभी आई फील रियली गुड कि जीआई का इनिशिएटिव अगर IIT खड़गपुर को कहते हैं कि मदर ऑफ IIT, राइट सर, मदर IIT, so can we convert that into the mother GI for the future?
Thanks to all the panel members. We hope that most of the doubts were cleared in this session. Finally, we would like to acknowledge our gratitude to the professors, the speakers for their valuable time and effort, and also the audience for ensuring the success of this event. Thank you.